Okay, hello there my quilty friends. We're on to part 2 of making this simple little book cover. In part 1 we got as far as putting the patchwork pieces on, the voile on top, and I left you ready to stitch with your fancy stitches on your sewing machine down the lines. Once you've done that, you need to cut it back to size. Now this book cover was 6.5 that way by 11.5 all the way round. So we're going to cut this piece 2 inches bigger than that. So I'm going to cut this piece back to 11.5 by 8.5. That's 2 inches bigger than the actual book cover. It gives me room to turn the edges in. First of all, we need to stitch over the edge, and I'll show you how I did that now. Okay, I'm back at the sewing machine. Now I'm going to use a utility stitch to go over the edge of this, all around the edge. And the stitch I'm using is, on my machine, is called an overlocking stitch. It looks like that, a zigzag with a stitch either side. If you haven't got something like that, you can put a zigzag on. But that's a nice one to edge it with. And you put your work into your machine, okay, and you start the stitch. And what you want is for the outer part of the zigzag to be just over the edge of your work. So it's wrapping round, just wrapping around the outer edge. Okay. And you do that along all 4 sides. Okay, I'm using a sample that the whole cloth sample I made to show you the next piece. I've stitched all around the edge. Okay. And then I'm going to take the measurement of the book, which was 6.5, and add a generous 1/4 inch. And the measurement around the book, which is 11.5, and had a generous 1/4 inch. That generous 1/4 inch will give you a little bit of ease in room, a little bit of room for manoeuvre. So what we're going to do next, hold on a second. Okay. So we're taking our measurement, adding a 1/4 inch, and you can just make a little mark at 6. Mine was 6.5, so it'll be a good 6 3/4. And I'm just gonna take a little measurement, just make a little mark there, and a little mark at 6 3/4. Okay, either side, and then I'm gonna just turn it over. Okay, so this is now just a little bit bigger. Let me get the book out. Just a little bit bigger than the book. You then need, once you've turned it over, to stitch along this edge, quite near to the edge. You can see here where I've stitched along the edge. Once you've stitched along both edges, you take the long ends and add in the 1/4. So mine now was 11.5, 11 3/4, which I have marked, and turn that over on both sides, and then you're just going to stitch over the top of where you stitched again to hold that in place. Don't stitch down here, or you won't be able to get your book in. All right, just stitch along there, and once you've stitched those 4 in, your book cover is ready. Okay, to be put onto your book, and there it is. So I hope that's given you some ideas and helped. See you soon. Bye.